Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 82.
It's autumn, Zhang Wu's first year. That's Liu Bei's new reign title, right? After he declared himself emperor.
Good thing.
And he has pulled together this absolutely massive army. We're talking forces gathered at Kudia Pass. That's a key spot, a choke point on the Wu border.
A huge concentration of force.
Oh.
And his vanguard, his frontline troops, they're already pushing past the Sichuan River mouth. This isn't just posturing.
No, this looks like an all-out invasion heading straight for Wu, and the driving force behind it all.
It's raw. It's just pure, unyielding vengeance. He needs to avenge his sworn brother, Guan Yu.
Guan Yu, who Wu killed after they seized Jingzhou province. So this isn't just about land or power for Liu Bei.
Not at all. It's deeply, profoundly personal. That rage is practically dictating state policy at this point.
Which is fascinating, isn't it? How emotion can just override everything else.
It really is. And in response, Sun Quan, the ruler of Wu, he sends an envoy. And it's Zhu Jin.
Ah, Zhu Jin, who is, wait for it, the older brother of Shu's own prime minister, Zhu Jiling.
Exactly. It's a calculated move, obviously leveraging that family connection, but maybe also just a sign of Zhu Jin's own diplomatic skill.
But Liu Ji, he's just consumed by this grief, this anger. He initially refuses to even see him.
Just shuts the door. Flat out refuses an audience.
Wow. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How often does that kind of emotion just derail critical decisions, even when survival is on the line?
Happens all the time, I suspect. But here, advisor Quan steps in. He gives some really crucial advice.
What does he say?
He basically says, look, even if you have zero intention of making peace, you should still hear Zhu Jin out.
Why? Just to, see what they offer?
More than that, Quan argues that whatever the envoy says, well, you can use his words later to justify Shu's war to Sun Quan himself. It's about the political messaging, the optics.
Ah, that's clever. Even in a blood feud, you need to manage the narrative.
Precisely. And Liu Bei, maybe surprisingly, he actually accepts this advice. He agrees to seize Zhu Jin.
Okay, so Zhu Jin finally gets his audience. What's the offer from Sun Quan? It must be pretty significant to try and stop an invasion.
It is. It's quite a package. First, return Liu Bei's wife, Lady Sun. Remember, she'd gone back to Wu years before, leaving their young son behind.
Right, that's a big personal gesture. What else?
Hand over the generals from Jingzhou who had surrendered to Wu. Restore Jingzhou itself back to Shu. And crucially, renew the old alliance to jointly attack Cao Pai.
Cao Pai, who's just usurped the Han throne in the north. So basically, let's forget our fight and focus on the real enemy.
That's the core message. And then Zhu Jin launches into this really powerful rhetorical argument. He contrasts what he calls great righteousness with small righteousness.
Okay, break that down. What's the difference?
He argues Liu Bei, as an imperial uncle, his great duty, his great righteousness, is to restore the Han dynasty. That means attacking the usurper Cao Pai.
Not fighting Wu, another Han ally, over a relative's death.
Exactly. That, he says, is the small righteousness. He even uses the phrase chasao, basically, abandoning the greater good for a lesser personal cause.
So he's calling Liu Bei out, saying his personal feelings are making him ignore his larger duty. That's bold.
Very bold. And it's a common dilemma, isn't it? Personal honor versus strategic necessity.
Definitely. Does he push it further?
Oh, yeah. He points out the Central Plains, the Han capitals, Luoyang and Chang'an. That's the real prize, not just Jingzhou. Chasing Jingzhou instead of the heartland is Anjan.
Abandoning the heavy for the light. Strategically flawed.
Right. He finishes by saying the whole world expects Liu Bei to restore the Han, not attack Wu. It's a really compelling case, logically sound, strategically sound, appealing to Liu Bei's own stated ideals.
And Liu Bei's reaction, is he swayed even a little?
Not one bit. He remains absolutely unwavering. The anger just boils over. He yells something like, "The hatred for my brother's killer is irreconcilable. This war won't stop until I'm dead."
Wow. So the logic just bounced right off him.
Completely. He even threatens Zhu Jin personally. Tells him the only reason he's leaving with his head is because of his brother, Zhuge Liang.
And tells him to pass a message to Sun Quan.
Yeah. Tell your master to wash his neck and await execution. It's just raw fury, no room for diplomacy at all.
So Zhuge Jin leaves, mission absolutely failed. Peace is off the table.
Totally impossible with Liu Bei in that state of mind. He goes back disheartened. That door is slammed shut.
Okay, so back in Wu, Zhuge Jin has been gone for a while. Does this cause any problems?
It does. Suspicion starts creeping in. The minister Zhang Zhao, for instance, he openly wonders if maybe Zhuge Jin has actually defected.
Defected? Using the peace talks as a cover to join his brother in Shu.
That's the implication. It's a pretty serious accusation, suggesting betrayal at the highest level.
But what does Sun Quan think? Does he buy it?
No, and this is remarkable. Sun Quan shows absolute unwavering faith in Zhuge Jin. He even recalls this past incident where both brothers, Jin and Liang, proved their loyalty to their respective lords was paramount.
Interesting. So loyalty to their master trumped even family ties.
That's how Sun Quan saw it.
Yeah.
He uses this term, Paul, divine communication or understanding, to describe their bond. It suggests incredibly deep loyalty, something almost intuitive that wouldn't be swayed by politics.
That's a fascinating insight into trust and character. So Sun Quan backs his man.
Completely. And his faith is justified when Zhuge Jin returns, confirming Liu Bei's rejection. But Sun Quan is visibly shaken by the news. He exclaims, if this is true, Jiang Yan is in danger.
The reality hits home. Full-scale invasion is coming. Direct diplomacy failed. What can Wu possibly do now?
Well, this is where another figure steps up. A grandee named Zhao Qi. He comes forward with a plan that is, well, it's incredibly daring.
Daring how? What's the idea?
It's a move born of desperation, really, but also quite strategically clever. He proposes that Sun Quan should draft a formal memorial, basically, a letter of submission to the Wei Emperor, Cao Pai, offer allegiance to Wei.
Whoa. Submit to Cao Pai, the guy they were just talking about attacking with Shu? That's a huge reversal.
It's massive.
Yeah.
But that's not all. Zhao Qi himself volunteers to go as the envoy. His mission, persuade Cao Pai to attack Hanzong.
Hanzong, that's Shu territory, Liu Bei's territory.
Exactly. The thinking is if Wei attacks Hanzong, Liu Bei will have to pull his troops back from invading Wu to defend his own lands.
Ah, I see. It's like creating a crisis elsewhere to relieve the pressure on yourself. Brilliant, but humiliating for Wu to submit like that.
Extremely humiliating. Sun Quan agrees, but he makes one critical condition clear to Zhao Qi. You cannot compromise Wu's prestige when you're there. Don't shame us.
So submit, but do it with dignity. That's a tough balancing act.
Incredibly tough. And Zhao Qi understands the weight of it. He dramatically vows he'll throw himself into the Yangtze River if he fails to uphold Wu's honor. It's high-stakes diplomacy.
So off he goes to Shudu, the Wei capital. When Cao Pai hears Wu's envoy is coming, what's his reaction? Is he surprised?
Not really. He apparently has this knowing smile and remarks something like, this is clearly an attempt to get us to deter Shu's attack. He sees the immediate motivation.
He gets the game. It shows how these states were constantly maneuvering, doesn't it? Everyone expects everyone else to be playing an angle.
Absolutely. It's a constant chess match. But Cao Pi, despite seeing the motive, decides to test the envoy. He challenges Zhao Qi directly. What kind of ruler is Sun Quan?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. Putting Zhao Qi on the spot immediately, how does he handle it?
Masterfully. This is where Zhao Qi really shines. He doesn't just give empty praise. He calls Sun Quan clever, benevolent, wise, and strategically capable. Then, crucially, he backs it up with specific examples for each trait.
Okay, give us some examples. How did he justify those claims?
They're clever. He points to Sun Quan promoting Lu Su, a commoner, recognizing talent. For bright, promoting Lu Meng from the ranks, showing meritocracy. For benevolent, capturing the Wei Zhenryu Jin, but not harming him, showing mercy even to an enemy. For wise, taking Jingzhou without shedding blood, strategic brilliance, without unnecessary cruelty.
Right, that was a major coup for Wu.
For heroic, he talks about Sun Quan dominating the southern rivers, the Yangtze and others, and eyeing the wider world, asserting power. And finally, for strategic, he frames the submission to Cao Pai as a temporary, calculated move.
Wow, he turned the submission itself into evidence of strategic thinking. That's incredibly slick.
It really is. He reframes a potential weakness as a strength. It's a masterclass in diplomatic spin.
So Cao Pai must be somewhat impressed. Does he push back more?
He does. He asks, does the Wu Lord know much about learning? Trying to perhaps paint Sun Quan as uncultured compared to the northern court.
And Zhao Qi's response?
Again, brilliant. He paints Sun Quan as a pragmatic leader, not some academic. He says Sun Quan commands huge fleets, employs capable people, focuses on governing well. He reads, sure, but he focuses on the main points, the gist of history and books.
Not getting bogged down in picky details like a scholar. The phrase was gin, seeking chapters and picking sentences.
Exactly. He's saying, my lord is wise in practical ways, the ways that matter for ruling, not just book learning.
Nice distinction. Okay, this is going well for Zhao Qi, but then Cao Pi throws some real curveballs, right? Truly provocative questions.
He does. He asks point blank, should I attack Wu? Just puts it right out there.
Whoa, how do you even answer that when you're there asking for help?
Zhao Qi's reply is calm but firm. A subtle warning. Basically, great states have armies to conquer, small states have plans to defend themselves, implying Wu is ready.
A polite way of saying, you can try, but we're prepared. Nerves of steel.
And then Cao Pi pushes again. Does Wu fear Wei?
Another direct challenge to Wu's strength and pride.
And Zhao Qi delivers this incredibly bold retort.
Joshi.
With 1 million armored soldiers and the Yangtzes and Han rivers as our cools, what is there to fear?
1 million soldiers. That's probably an exaggeration.
Almost certainly an exaggeration, but what a statement. It's pure diplomatic audacity. Just refuses to show fear or weakness.
Incredible. You have to admire the courage. It's like high-stakes poker, as you said, bluffing with the fate of your kingdom. Cao Pi must have been impressed.
He was clearly taken aback by Zhao Qi's wit and nerve. So he asked one more question. How many men like Zhao Qi are there in Wu?
Trying to gauge the depth of talent, maybe?
Probably. And Zhao Qi's answer is another masterpiece of exaggeration and deflection. He says, there are 80 or 90 truly exceptional, discerning men, but as for people like me, Kaki, they fill carts and are measured by the bushel, innumerable.
That is brilliant. He praises the elite few, but claims people like him are 10 a penny. It's humble, but implies massive hidden strength.
Exactly. It avoids arrogance while painting this picture of a state overflowing with capable officials, designed to make Wei pause.
What a performance. So Cao Pi is finally convinced.
He is. He praises Zhao Qi directly, saying he fulfilled his lord's mission without bringing any dishonor. The result, he issues the imperial edict. Sun Quan is officially enfeoffed as the King of Wu.
King of Wu, that's a huge elevation in status.
It is. And he also bestows the Gu, the 9 bestowments. These are symbols of immense honor and power. Special robes, chariots, weapons, guards. It's a major concession from Wei.
So Zhao Qi returns a hero. Mission accomplished. Wu is safe for now, and Wei seems like an ally.
On the surface, yes. But back in the Wei court, not everyone is celebrating. Minister Liu Ye immediately sees the danger in Cao Pi's decision.
Liu Ye, what's his objection?
He argues that this conflict between Shu and Wu, it's basically heaven-handing Wei an opportunity to destroy them both, a golden chance.
So Liu Ye thinks Wei should have attacked Wu despite the submission.
Absolutely. He says Wei should attack Wu from their side, while Shu attacks from the other. Wu would be crushed in days, he reckons. Then Shu would be isolated in easy pickings later.
That's ruthless, but maybe strategically sound from Wei's perspective.
It's a strong argument. He warns Cao Pi directly about Sun Quan's ambition. Granting him the title of king, elevating him like this, it's like,
Adding wings to a tiger? You're making a future rival stronger? That's a powerful image.
It really is. He's arguing short-term gain, stopping Shu's attack, isn't worth the long-term risk of empowering Wu.
But Cao Pi doesn't listen. What's his reasoning?
He has a completely different calculation. He dismisses Liu Ye, saying attacking a state that just offered submission would look bad. It would deter anyone else from ever surrendering to Wei in the future. It damages their credibility.
The diplomatic fallout. Thinking about future possibilities.
Right. But his real strategy is the long game. He basically declares, I will not help Wu, nor will I help Shu.
Let them fight it out.
Exactly. He says, wait and see Wu and Shu battle. If one destroys the other, only one remains.
What?
Conquering that last one, how hard can that be?
Wow. Cold, calculating, and incredibly patient. Just sit back and watch your enemies destroy each other.
It's a ruthless strategy, but it requires discipline. He decides to go ahead with enfeoffing Sun Quan. It's a gamble that letting them fight is better than intervening now.
So the Wei envoy, Xingzhen, heads south to Wu with the decree and the fancy gifts. How is he received?
Sun Quan, despite, the humiliation bubbling underneath, he puts on the required show. He goes out personally with all his officials to greet the envoy. It's the necessary protocol.
But surely not everyone in Wu is happy about accepting this title from Wei.
Definitely not. Advisor Gu Yang actually suggests Sun Quan should just declare himself Supreme General and Governor of the 9 provinces. Basically, assert his own authority. Don't take a title from Cao Pi.
A moment of pride versus pragmatism again.
And Sun Quan, ever the pragmatist, shuts it down. He even cites history Liu Bang accepting a title from Shang Yu back in the day, saying timing is everything. Right now, they need Wei off their back so they can deal with Liu Bei. Pride can wait.
Okay, pragmatic. But then there's an incident with the envoy himself. Xingzhen.
Yes. Xingzhen arrives with his incredible arrogance. He refuses to even get down from his chariot when entering the city gates.
That's a massive sign of disrespect. How do the Wu officials react?
Zhang Zhao is furious. He confronts Xingzhen forcefully, asking him if he thinks Jiangyan, the south, has not even an inch of a blade.
Basically, do you think we're completely defenseless and toothless? That's a direct challenge.
It is. And it works. Xingzhen quickly gets down from his chariot. It shows the underlying tension. The Wu pride is still very much there.
And then there's an even more emotional reaction.
Yeah, the general Xu Sheng, he apparently breaks down crying in public.
Crying. Why?
He's lamenting that Wu's generals haven't been strong enough to conquer Wei and Shu themselves, forcing their lord Sun Quan to accept this humiliating title from Wei. It's this outburst of frustration and wounded pride.
That's incredibly revealing. The strategic necessity clashes hard with the emotional reality for these warriors.
Absolutely. And the Wei envoy, Xingzhen, witnesses all of this, Yang Zhao's anger, Xu Sheng's tears. And he sighs and makes this really insightful comment.
What does he say?
He says, with generals and ministers like these in Jiangdong, they will definitely not remain subordinate for long.
Wow. So even the envoy bringing the symbols of submission recognizes it's temporary. He sees the ambition and the spirit are still very much alive in Wu.
He gets it completely. This peace, this submission, it's just a strategic pause. Wu is playing the long game, too.
Sun Quan, he's the ruler of Wu. He's just accepted this new title from the Wei Emperor. It's a Fengzhu, a noble title.
Okay.
Now, accepting this title signals a big shift in alliances, and critically, it absolutely infuriates Liu Bei, the ruler of Shu. He sees it as betrayal.
Understandable.
Yeah, so this political move immediately sets the stage for a massive retaliatory strike from Shu.
And what a strike it is. Can you describe the scale of this invasion?
Yeah.
I mean, the forces Liu Bei pulls together and how fast they move, it seems incredible.
Oh, it is. The sources are clear. Liu Bei holds nothing back. He launches a full-scale invasion. He's got his main army, sure, but it's reinforced by thousands of Fanbing.
Fanbing tribal troops.
Exactly. Tribal troops led by this barbarian King Shimok. Plus, he has 2 more forces under Han generals Du Lu and Lu Ning from the cave regions. So it's this huge water and land assault. Shu forces, they reach Wuko by water, and Zigi, that's a really key strategic city, by land. Almost instantly.
That speed.
The scale and the speed are just staggering. It really shows Liu Bei's fury.
So Sun Quan, even with this new title, this political win,
Yeah.
he must have felt incredibly vulnerable facing that.
Oh, completely.
It really shows, doesn't it? A leader can have new power but still feel isolated without that solid strategic support at home.
Exactly. He really feels adrift. The text says he laments the absence of his great strategists. You know, Zhu Yu, Lu Su, Lu Meng, they're all gone.
Right, the big names.
Yeah, he feels this profound vacuum in leadership. He expected support from Wei, his new supposed ally, but it hasn't shown up.
Nothing.
Nothing. So he's facing Liu Bei's wrath alone. It raises that big question. How do you rally your forces, find direction when you feel politically weak, strategically lost, and your best minds just aren't there anymore?
This is where it gets so interesting. His veteran generals are silent. Nobody has a plan, apparently. And then this young, unexpected figure steps forward. Sun Quan.
Sun Quan, yeah.
He's only 25 years old, son of... He was adopted by Sun Tzu, so he's part of the royal clan.
Right, connected.
But don't let the age fool you. He's apparently already seasoned. He's followed Sun Quan on campaigns, got merit, holds the title Wu Wei Du Wei, captain of the bodyguards. And he confidently claims he has 2 formidable generals, Li Yi and Xi Jing, saying they can each fight 10,000 men. Quite a boast.
A very big boast.
Then he just boldly volunteers to take on Liu Bei's massive army.
And Sun Quan, you know, he's initially hesitant. Sun Quan's young, but he agrees with a condition. He insists on seasoned backup.
Smart move.
Yeah, so this brings in the experienced Tiger General Zhu Ren. He offers to co-lead, so they set up this new command. Sun Quan as left commander, Zhu Ren as right commander. They get 50,000 troops. It's this, blend of youthful ambition wanting to prove itself and experienced caution. A steady hand guiding that raw energy.
So the stage is set at Yudu. That's all you do. Sun Quan deploys 25,000 troops, 3 camps right at the boundary, bracing for impact. Meanwhile, Liu Bei is back at Zigi. He hears Sun Quan's there and just dismisses him, calls him a small child, reportedly says, "How dare this small child resist me?"
Because from the Shu side, we see the Sons of Legend step up, Guanxing and Zhang Bao.
Ah, the next generation.
Exactly. Zhang Bao is often called a sworn brother's son, but Liu Bei basically treats him like a nephew. These are the sons of Guan Yu and Zhang Fei.
Yeah.
They volunteer to take on Sun Huan. Liu Bei approves, but he warns them, be careful, don't be hasty. You can feel his pride, but also his concern for them.
And what an entrance. Guan Xing and Zhang Bao just burst onto the scene. Gleaming silver armor, white horses, Guan Xing with an 8-foot spear, Zhang Bao with a great saber, picture-perfect young heroes.
Absolutely.
They face Sun Huan, Li Yi, and Xi Jing, and the trash talk starts immediately. It escalates fast. Zhang Bao calls Sun Huan a shuzi.
Which is deeply insulting, like rascal or brat. Pure contempt.
Yeah, and a dead man walking. Sun Huan fires right back, mocking Zhang Bao's father, Zhang Fei, calling him a headless ghost, referencing his recent assassination.
Oof. Brutal.
Wow, talk about personalizing the conflict. It's almost like a pro wrestling promo, but with real swords.
Exactly. It perfectly sets that stage for the personal grudges that fuel these battles. Makes the stakes even higher than just strategy. And the fight that follows, swift, brutal.
Okay, what happens?
Zhang Bao clashes with Xi Jing first. Xi Jing is defeated. He flees. Then Li steps in, wielding this gold-dipped axe. He fights Zhang Bao pretty evenly for over 20 bouts.
Okay, intense fight. But here's that twist, right? The aha moment that shows how chaotic battle is.
Yes. A subordinate general from Wu, Tanshang, sees his general Li Yi struggling.
And just takes a shot.
Fires a cold arrow, a surprise shot, maybe seen as treacherous.
Nasty.
Hits Zhang Bao's horse, throws him to the ground.
Oh, no.
But in a flash, Guanxing sees his friend in danger. His horse had turned back. He rides in just as Li Yi is raising his axe to strike the downed Zhang Bao.
Quick thinking.
Cuts Li Yi down with a single strike, just takes his head clean off his shoulders, saves Zhang Bao, and Sun Huan's forces suffer their first major defeat. It's all down to Guanxing's speed and skill. Turn the tide instantly.
Amazing. But it's not over, is it, the next day?
Not at all. The very next day, Sun Huan comes back, maybe for pride, maybe just determination. But Guanxing steps up again, challenges him directly.
Round 2?
Another 30-plus bouts. Guanxing proves superior again, defeats Sun Huan, forces another retreat.
So the Shu forces are just relentless.
Absolutely relentless. Guanxing, Zhang Bao, plus Wu Ban, Zhang Nan, Feng Shi, they pursue the retreating Wu army fiercely.
And Zhang Bao gets his revenge.
He does. Still furious from the day before, he catches up to Xi Jing, the general who beat him initially, and kills him with a spear. Evens the score.
Okay, but then there's that dramatic moment, right?
Yes.
Guanxing goes missing.
Yes. After the victory, Guanxing is nowhere to be found. Zhang Bao panics, actually exclaims, "If Ong Weo," that's Guanxing's courtesy name, "is lost, I will not live alone." Shows their bond.
Wow.
But then Guanxing turns up, he's alive, and he's holding Tan Zhang, the guy who shot his horse.
He went after him specifically.
He did. Guanxing says he captured his Chowra, his personal enemy, his blood foe in the chaos. They take him back, behead him, offer his blood to Zhang Bao's dead horse.
Intense. That's raw.
Yeah.
Underscores the loyalty, the vengeance driving these young guys.
It really does. And with that display of vengeance, the Shu youth have dealt a devastating blow. Sun Huan's forces are shattered. He has no choice but to send a desperate plea for help back to Sun Quan. The whole strategic picture changes.
Okay, so Sun Huan is desperate. What happens next? This leads to some clever Shu strategy, right?
It does. This dire situation prompts an ingenious move. Zhang Nan and Feng Shi suggest a direct night raid on Sun Huan.
Seems logical.
But Wu Ban, showing real tactical foresight, warns against it. He points out Zhu Ran's water forces are still intact. A direct attack is too risky, they could get cut off.
Okay, so what's the alternative?
A brilliant deception. Wu Ban suggests using Zhao Zhu, basically, just a few small soldiers to pose as deserters.
Ah, the fake deserter ploy.
Yeah.
Classic.
Exactly. They feed Zhu Ran false information, tell him Feng Ji is planning a night raid, and a fire will be the signal.
Okay, but the real plan.
The real plan. Lure Zhu Ran's water forces into a mountain ambush set up by Guanxing and Zhang Bao. It's multi-layered, pure misdirection, playing on the opponent's assumptions. A classic Three Kingdoms gambit.
Love it. So does Zhu Ren fall for it?
Well, Zhu Ran hears about Sun Huan's distress. He's preparing to help anyway. Then the deserters arrive with their story. It seems to confirm the threat of a night raid.
Seems plausible.
But his subordinate, Kui Yu, advises caution. He says, "Look, we don't know if these deserters are telling the truth." He volunteers to lead 10,000 troops himself to assist Sun Huan, rather than risking Zhu Ran's main fleet.
Trying to be prudent.
trying to be prudent, sending only part of the force, not risking his own command. But this caution plays right into Shu's hands.
So that night,
Just as planned, Feng Shi, Zhang Nan, and Wu Ban launch their assault on Sun Huan's camp. Fires everywhere, total chaos.
the signal.
Kuiyu sees the flames, thinks the raid is real, rushes his 10,000 troops forward.
Right into the trap.
Right into the trap. As soon as he turns a mountain pass, boom, drums sound. Guanxing attacks from the left, Zhang Bao from the right. Ambush.
Total surprise.
Total surprise. In a single fierce bout, Zhang Bao captures Kuiyu alive.
Wow. Just like that. It underscores that key principle, doesn't it? Sometimes victory isn't about the head-on clash, but manipulating assumptions, using caution against itself.
Absolutely. Zhu Ran senses the danger immediately, realizes he's been tricked, wisely retreats 50, 60, maybe 25, 30 kilometers downstream with his remaining ships.
And Sun Huan.
Sun Huan flees with his remaining troops to Yiling, that's Hume. But he gets there only to find Wu Ban's pursuing forces already laying siege to it. He's trapped.
So capturing Kuiyu, that's a massive win for Shu.
Huge. Quan Jing and Zhang Bao deliver him to Liu Bei at Zigui. Liu Bei is overjoyed, orders Kuiyu beheaded, gives out massive rewards to the army.
Morale must be sky high for Shu.
Sky high. And across the Jianyan region, the Wu generals, they're terrified, intimidated.
So Sun Quan must be panicking again.
Understandably, yes. He calls his advisors again. Zhang Zhao proposes this powerful counterattack, 100,000 troops, led by veteran generals like Han Dang, Zhu Tai, Pan Zhang, Ling Tong, even Gan Ning, who's actually sick with dysentery but still insists on fighting.
Wow, bringing out all the old guard, even the ailing ones.
It shows the depth of Wu's resources, sure, but also the sheer desperation. It's an almost unprecedented move, rallying these legends, some past their prime, just to stop Liu Bei.
Okay, and here's that fascinating turn, right? Liu Bei himself has a moment. He's set up 40 camps, consolidated his gains from Wuxia Jianping to Yiling.
70 li of camps, a huge stretch.
He sees Guanxing and Zhang Bao succeeding again and again, praises them highly, but then he carelessly muses that his old generals, well, they're useless now.
Ouch. A throwaway comment, maybe, but...
It sparks something. The independent spirit of the legendary old general Huang Zhong.
Yes, that one careless remark. We learn Huang Zhong has actually just taken off towards eastern Wu with a small group of his own men.
He didn't wait for orders?
Nope. Liu Bei hears this, gives a wry smile. He gets it instantly. Huang Zhong isn't rebelling. He's going to prove he's still got it, directly challenging Liu Bei's dismissive comment about the older generation.
Love that pride. So what does Liu Bei do?
He immediately sends Guanxing and Zhang Bao to help Huang Zhong, but he tells them, be cautious, bring him back after even a small success. He wants to protect the old warrior, make sure he doesn't overdo it.
It's actually quite touching. Respecting the young guy's skill, but also acknowledging the pride, the dignity of the elder warrior.
Exactly. And our sources leave us with this really poignant couplet. Old ministers, steadfastly loyal to the king's will, young men achieve feats to repay the nation's service. Sums it up perfectly.